Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Abby if you are new here. Today I created this makeup look for you guys that I'm wearing right now. I played around with something completely different than I normally do, and I did a really smoky, sexy eye. And I also did a winged liner today with this look. Those are two things I never really do, so this was a little bit outside of my comfort zone, but I think it turned out really well and I love it. So if you guys want to get this look, just keep watching and don't forget to hit the subscribe button before you leave. See ya! Okay, so to get started today, I'm actually going to start with my eyes just because I'm going to do a dark smoky eye, I think. So I went ahead and primed using this Hard Candy primer. I really like this stuff. And then I'm going to go ahead and go in with my Master Conceal by Maybelline concealer. I'm just going to put this on the back of my hand. And then going in with my Morphe M432 brush, just any flat brush will do. And I'm going to use this to set the base of my eyeshadow just to make everything more uniform. I'm going to cover up all these veins, and I'm also going to clean up my eyebrows with this. So just start by outlining your eyebrow, and then I'm going to apply this all over my eyelid to cover up all these veins that I have. Once I have that on enough, I'm going to tap that out with just a beauty blender to make sure everything's even. And as you can see, I already went ahead and did my eyebrows as well, just using my ColourPop pomade, and I also used my L'Oreal brow definer as well. Now that you can see how even that is, that's going to give us a really nice even base to apply our shadows on top. So for today, I think I'm going to go in with like a very black smoky eye. I've just been wanting to do this for a while. I don't know why. So that doesn't look so weird, I'm going to have to go in with some warm colors in the transition, just so it transitions from my natural skin color to like the warm shadow and then to the black, just so it's not so harsh. That's my personal opinion. So to start off, I'm going to be going into my Morphe 350 matte palette, and I'm going to pick up this shade right here. And I'm going to be using that shade on a Morphe M433 brush. And I'm just going to swirl it in there, tap off the excess. And then for this, I'm going to actually create like a little wing out here. So I'm just going to start working this into the crease where you can see it when my eyes open as well. And you want to keep most of the product lower in that crease. And then once you don't have any product on your brush anymore, you can go in and blend up. Another trick is to hold your brush at the very end whenever you are doing a nice smoky eye, so you're not applying too much pressure so you don't get like weird eyeshadow patches or anything like that. You can just create a nice seamless blend. And I'm taking this all the way from the inner corner. On the inner corner, I'm trying to keep it a little bit lower so that way I'm not going too high up into my brow. And then on the outer corner, again, I'm flicking it out to match my eyebrow out here. To give that shadow a little bit more of a warm color, I'm going to go in just lightly with this shade, and I'm just going to pop that right over the top, a little bit lower as well. I don't know why I've never used that shade before because it is so beautiful. So now for the black shade I'm going to be using all over my lid, I'm going to be going into this Urban Decay Smoky palette, and I'm going to take this blackish shade, which is just called Blackout, right here. And I'm going to be using it on a Coastal Scents number 13 brush, and I'm just going to pack my brush right in there, get a lot of product on there. And I'm just going to start by tapping this onto my eyelid. I think that that's good for now. We're going to go back and forth a little bit. It's one thing with black shadows, you definitely want to go back and forth and take your time blending them out. But I'm just going to go back in with that brush that I was using for the brown, and I'm just going to lightly start blending that black into that transition shade. A lot of the black at this point is going to kind of blend away in a way, and that is okay as well. So you really just want to take your time blending this out. And as you're blending, you can go back and forth between the brown shade as well, just to really create that blend. And as I'm blending, a little bit of black is getting onto this brush, so I'm just using a makeup wipe or a baby wipe, whatever you want to use to clean your brushes. And I'm just making sure that there's not any extra black on there because I don't want to bring that black too far up into the crease. So I'm going back in with that orange shade and I'm just putting this more and more into the crease until I feel like it's bold enough to cover up that mid-tone shade. And then I'm going to be applying a little bit more of that black shadow right on the blackest part, which is going to be all over the lid. So going to start winging that out a little bit as well, just really low to the lash line. And then I'm going back in with this shade again, and I'm just going to blend everything out one more time. And I know this looks absolutely crazy, but I will clean it up with like a makeup wipe and it will look a lot better. Also, whenever you're doing this, you want to keep the black a little bit above your lid just so they aren't looking as squatty. So you just want to go barely above your lid into that crease where you can also see it whenever your eyes are open. Okay, and I'm liking the way that that looks, so I'm going to go in with a makeup remover and I'm just going to clean this up. So now that we're already here on the eyes, I'm going to use this NYC liquid liner to line my eyes, and I'm actually going to go right across the lash line, and then I'm going to create a little wing to follow this cut I made whenever I used my makeup remover wipe. Okay, so as you guys can see, I popped on some falsies. I just used some mascara and then these falsies. I'm not sure what brand they are or anything. I just had them on my drawer. And to cover up that lash band, I'm actually just going to go in with a little bit of this black liquid liner again and just cover up that lash band one more time. So next we're going to move on to foundation stain. I'm actually going to be using two. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation, and then I'm also going to be using this Milani Conceal and Perfect foundation. This one is a little bit too warm tones, like yellow on my skin, so that's why I'm going to be going in with this Wet n Wild foundation as well. And I'm just going to be pumping these on the back of my hand and mixing them up together. Okay, it still looks a little bit warm for my face, but we're going to make it work. I think it will be okay once I blend it out and highlight and conceal and all that goodness. So to blend that out today, I'm actually just going in with my Real Techniques sponge. I haven't done this in a while. I feel like I've actually used this to blend out my foundation like from start to finish. I usually just dot it over my foundation after I blend it out with a brush. But I really love the way that this looks on my skin whenever I do use a Real Techniques sponge or any makeup sponge in general. As you can see, this is definitely a little bit more warm colored than my neck. My neck looks a little pink, my face looks a little bit yellow, but you know, it's okay. We'll blend it together with some bronzer and slap some other stuff on. Then for concealer today, I'm going to be going in with my sand from Maybelline. This is not sand. Yes, it is. Huh, looks like. I have like a bug bite over here. I don't even know how that happened, but I woke up with it and it is not looking too good. And then I'm going to also be going in with this Wet n Wild concealer, and this is in the shade Light Ivory. I love these two concealers combined because this one's a little bit more thick and I think a little bit more for full coverage, and then the Maybelline one is a little bit more wet and just a little bit more creamy. So to get up in that really tight inner corner, I like to use this brush, which is just the Morphe M173 brush. And I really like this because it blends out like a beauty blender, but it can get into those tight crevices without messing up your eyeshadow. And then just be careful whenever you've already done your wing liner. You can see just how beautiful that concealer mixed together is. It's so beautiful. It's nice and full coverage, and I love it. And then to set that under eye in place today, I'm going to be going with my Laura Mercier powder just on a Real Techniques sponge. I'm just going to dip it right in here, and I'm going to bake a little bit with it. I'm not a fan of this powder. I know that everyone loves it, but for some reason on my skin it's super drying. I'm not a big fan on it, but I'm gonna try it again. That's why I'm using it today, because I haven't used it in a long time and I want to make sure my opinion of it hasn't changed, because I know everyone loves it, and I feel like whenever everyone loves something, I'm like missing out on something. I'm like, what do I not understand about this product? Why does everyone love it? I'm just gonna dust the rest of my face with whatever came off in the cap and just a little e.l.f. flat top brush. And I'm just going to mainly put this on like my forehead and then on my cheeks area, just to make blending of my contour a little bit easier. I'm just going to dust this everywhere actually. And then to go in with a little bit of contour, I'm going to be using my Shade and Lights palette by Kat Von D. And I'm going to actually go in with this Morphe 458 brush, and I'm going to use this middle shade right here. I'm just going to dip that straight in, and I'm going to begin carving out my cheeks. And I really only like to bring this color about 3 inches or so from the top of my ear and go down to the corner of my mouth, but obviously not going all the way down or you will look a little crazy. And that's because whenever I look face on, it's going to create like an illusion of a shadow, which gives you those high, nice, sharp cheekbones. I'm also going to take a little bit of this. I'm like tapping it off and dabbing it on my wrist, and I'm just going to contour my nose so slightly, because I think that nose contour on me for some reason looks so obvious and weird, and I don't know why. I cannot figure out how to contour my nose effectively. It really like emphasizes this bump I have. So I have like kind of a bump on the middle of my nose, and I feel like whenever I do the technique that everyone else does, for some reason it just emphasizes that bump, and I feel like it draws more attention to it. I don't know, what do you guys think? I feel like it draws more attention. And then I'm also just going to contour the nose at the very tip like this, just like that. And then I like to go back with a Real Techniques sponge and just tap everything out as well. What do you guys think? I feel like you can still see this bump really, really bad, especially on that side. It almost makes my nose look crooked now, which I don't think my nose is actually crooked. I think it's just the way that it's contoured. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Let me know in the comments if you guys could see my nose going wonky and stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. And then I'm taking a little bit of this like banana yellow shade in the palette just right there. And I'm just going to lightly dust this underneath my eyes a little bit, just to like lighten them a tiny, tiny bit. Okay, so now to blend out this line and to bronze up a little bit, I'm going to be going with my Physicians Formula Bronze Booster in medium to dark. And I'm just going to be using this on a Wet n Wild little angled brush. I love this brush. I'm just going to bronze up my cheekbones and blend that contour out at the same time. And I'm also going to put this on the sides of my forehead as well to slim down my forehead. Then I'm going to apply this to my chin and my neck area to kind of match that foundation to my skin a little bit better. So I'm actually going to go clean up with the same contour brush. This is just the Morphe 458 brush. And I'm going to use a little bit more of that Laura Mercier translucent powder. And I'm going to go right underneath that line just to clean things up a little bit. For blush today, I didn't really want to use anything that was going to like combat with this eye look because it is so intense. So I'm just going to be going in with my e.l.f. blush quad, and I'm going to be taking this shade right here, just a little bit, lightly tap off the excess and blot it on like your wrist or something, because this is a very pigmented. And I'm just going to lightly apply this to my cheekbones and then touch the apples of my cheeks as well. As you can see, the light shade of orange in this blush is going to really complement that warm tone that we have throughout our crease on our eyes. So I really love to use a blush that complements your eye color as well. I said a light hand of blush, but by light I meant just like a lot. I really like blush. It's one of those things that goes really quickly, so I feel like you have to start off with a lot more and then you can like lessen it throughout the day because it's gonna fade off anyway. Okay, so now I want to finish up the bottom lash line, and I'm actually going to go back into my Morphe palette, and I'm going to use all these transition shades on my lower lash line. So I'm going to start off using this first shade right here, just on a Morphe Y22 like small definer. I like to call it a pencil brush. You can call it whatever you want. It might be a small definer, it might be a pencil brush, whatever it is. And as you can see, we created that lifted outer corner, and I'm just going to match that on the outer and bring it pretty much all across the lower lash line. And then to kind of bring some of that darkness onto the bottom lash line as well, I'm going to be going in with this Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in the shade Perversion. It's just a black eyeliner. It's really nice and creamy, so it will blend onto that bottom lash line very well. Any black liner you have though will do as well. And I'm running this on my lower lash line, as you can see, and I'm also kind of pushing this into my eyelashes as well, just a little bit, nothing major, but it will make it easier to blend it onto your bottom lash line if you do that. So then, just using the exact same little pencil definer brush, I'm just going to run this with no extra product on it, just run it right against those lashes to kind of bring down some of that black, but not smudge it too much, just to make it blend together a little bit more. And then I'm going to be going in with my CoverGirl Supersizer Mascara. I really like this for the bottom lashes because the one is so tiny. And I'm just going to pop this on my bottom lashes. Before I go in with highlighter today, I'm actually just going to spritz my face with this Mario Badescu Rose Water. This is just going to like act as an adherent for the highlighter that we're going to put on, just so it's really nice, bright, and beaming. Because the eyes are so matte, I think that I can get away with a really strong, intense highlighter today. So I'm just going to spray this on my face, keeping it more on the highlighted areas just to make it a little bit easier. Just like that. And I don't recommend eating that by any means, but if you get it in your mouth, it doesn't taste that bad. So that's okay. Then to highlight, I'm going to be going in with my Jaclyn Hill and Becca collab palette, and I'm going to be just taking Champagne Pop. I believe that this has to be Prosecco Pop. Okay, I'm going to go in with Champagne Pop, this pinky. I'm going to mix them. Let's just mix them. For some reason, my camera does not pick up the intensity of this. I don't know why it doesn't pick up the intensity, but I promise in person, like, this is really, really blinding. And I'm also going to use this underneath my brow bone as well. Okay, so as you can see, I put that on my brow bone and on the inner corners, but I don't think that's bright enough for me, so I'm going to be going in with this Kathleen Lights and Morphe palette, and I'm going to be taking this lightest shade right here, and I'm going to be using that just right over the top of all of that. This is just a little bit more of a lighter shade. It has like more of a wider undertone, if that makes sense, so it just kind of shows up on my skin better. I don't think I'm tan enough for that Champagne Pop because I know that it's such a beautiful highlight. For some reason it just does not show up on me, and I'm also going to take a little bit of that and apply that to the tops of my cheeks as well, and I think that that color is a little bit better for me. This is like so intense of a highlight. I never wear this intense of a highlight, but I think it's really beautiful, so I'm going to wear it today. And then for lips, because the eyes are obviously very dramatic, I want to go in with something nude. So I'm just going to be taking my Whirl lip liner, and I'm going to be lining my lips. I don't know if you could just understand that, because why was I talking while I did that? I'm just going to line my lips using my Whirl MAC lip liner. And then for lipstick, I kind of want to go for like a 90s lip, I think. This might totally look weird, I'm not sure. But I'm going to be using this Viva La Glam, no, just this Viva Glam 2 by MAC, and it's just this really pretty nude color. Okay, I don't think that that's enough. I feel like it needs to be a little bit warmer. So I'm going to be going over the top with this Screenshot liquid lipstick from ColourPop. Okay, so I know the lighting looks a little bit different than the last clip, but that is because my camera died and I had to put it on the charger for a little bit, let it charge up just enough that I could finish this outro. So what I have on my lips, because you guys missed that in the video, was I put on macro liner all over my lips. Then I went ahead and put on this Screenshot by ColourPop liquid lipstick. And then to top that off, I went in with this Essence liquid lipstick, and I don't have any name. This is a lip gloss. It's basically a lip gloss. I know it's called a liquid lipstick, but it's a lip gloss. And I'm not sure what the name is, but it's just this really pretty nudie kind of peach color. And that is what I have on my lips right now. So this is it for the final look. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching this video. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up emoji down below. Then leave me a comment. You can type whatever you want. Just say hey. And then hit the subscribe button for me. And I will greatly appreciate it. I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks again for watching. Bye.